All right, so you're starting a YouTube channel? Well, chances are you're focusing on the completely wrong thing. And look, it's a common trap. According to the research we're looking at today, this one mistake is the reason most channels die before they even get a real chance to grow. So in this explainer, we're going to break down that single biggest reason and, of course, how you can avoid it. Okay, so let's get right to it. Why do so many channels, the ones that start with all this passion and excitement, just fizzle out? It's a huge fear that pretty much every creator has, right? Well, let's find out what's really going on. You know the drill. When a channel isn't getting views, what do people blame? It's always the same stuff. Oh, it's the algorithm, or my thumbnails just aren't good enough, or I must have picked the wrong niche. But here's the thing, as we're about to see, those are just the symptoms. The real problem? It's something much, much deeper. And that brings us to our first big idea here, chasing the wrong things. See, the road to a dead channel, it doesn't start with one bad video. Nope. It starts way earlier by chasing all these things that honestly just don't matter, especially when you're just starting out. And there it is, the real reason. It's not the algorithm. It's not your thumbnails. The real killer of YouTube channels is a lack of clarity. Plain and simple. It's about not knowing why you're even making these videos in the first place or what you're truly trying to build. And without that clear purpose, you've got no anchor, nothing to hold on to when things inevitably get tough. Okay, so this whole lack of clarity thing might sound a bit abstract, right? What does it actually look like for a creator in the real world? Well, it's not some big sudden explosion where your channel just implodes. It's much quieter than that. It's a slow fade. So let's actually walk through the emotional roller coaster of a channel that's on its way out. And man, this cycle is so painfully familiar to so many people. It all starts with that little burst of hope right after you hit publish. Then you start playing the refreshing game. You know the one, checking your analytics every 5 minutes, just waiting for the numbers to go up. But then, nothing. Just crushing silence. The views aren't coming. And that's when the doubts start to creep in. Is my idea stupid? Is my voice annoying? You question everything. And finally, you get to the inconsistent fade. You miss one upload, then another. And before you know it, the channel is just gone. This right here is the brutal truth that nobody really likes to talk about. There are going to be weeks, I'm not kidding, where your brand new video, the one you poured hours into, gets 12 views. Not 12,000, just 12. 0 comments, 0 feedback, absolutely no sign from the universe that you're on the right track. And let me tell you, when you're in that moment, watching another how to grow video is not going to be the thing that saves you. And this really gets to the heart of it all. The key takeaway is this. If your channel doesn't make it, it's probably not because you weren't capable or you weren't talented enough. It's because you didn't know what you were pushing toward. It's like you were pushing a giant boulder with all your might, but you had no idea which hill you were even trying to get it up. All right, so we've established the problem, a lack of clarity. So what's the fix? Well, that brings us right into our third section, the clarity principle. Think of this as the antidote to that slow, painful fade. So when we talk about clarity, what do we actually mean? This isn't about having some perfect 10-page business plan. No. Clarity is your deep down, unshakable reason for why you keep going, especially when absolutely nothing is working. It's what gets you through those 12-view weeks. Because look, without that core reason, you're going to fall into all the classic traps. You'll start chasing random viral trends that make no sense for your channel. You'll get frustrated, scrap everything, and start over again, convinced that a new niche is the magic bullet. You'll just end up copying what bigger creators are doing, and then wonder why it feels so empty and hollow. All that effort with no real direction. It just feels totally pointless. And this is such an important point. Having clarity doesn't magically make YouTube easier, okay? The work is still hard, you still have to film and edit and do all the things, but what it does do is make everything simpler. It gives you a filter. Suddenly you know which ideas are right for you and which ones you can just ignore. And that makes showing up week after week feel sustainable instead of just pure chaos. Okay, so this brings us to the final and honestly the most important part of all of this. How do you actually do this? How do you find that clarity? Well, it all starts with a shift in focus. You have to start building for the right person, and that person is you. Seriously, before you worry about monetization or subscribers or anything the algorithm is doing this week, I want you to just pause and ask yourself this one simple question. What am I actually trying to build here? Not for anyone else. What is the point of this channel for me? And to get to an honest answer, you have to learn to ignore all the noise out there. I'm giving you permission to completely ignore what sounds impressive to other people. Ignore what some YouTube guru tells you you're supposed to do, and for sure, ignore the latest viral format that's going to be gone in 2 weeks. Because here's the bottom line. The only, and I mean only, motivation that will survive those brutal 12-view weeks is a reason that is 100% yours. Maybe you want to document yourself learning a new skill. Maybe you want to build a public library of your ideas. Or maybe you just need a creative outlet. It honestly doesn't matter what it is as long as it's yours and nobody else's. And here's the beautiful, kind of ironic part. The second you stop trying to please the algorithm and just start building something for yourself with a clear vision, that's often when the algorithm starts to notice you. Why? Because people, real human viewers, can feel clarity. They get what your channel is about. They trust where you're going. And so they come back for more. That is how you build a real, lasting audience. So in the end, it all boils down to this one last question. This is the ultimate test. If you knew for a fact that for the next full year, absolutely no one was going to watch, no new subscribers, not a single comment, would you still show up and hit upload? Your honest answer to that? Well, that's your